Welcome to our August 6th commemoration of Nuclear Prayer Day. Today, we gather not only to remember the past, but to renew our commitment to the future. 81 years ago, the people of Hiroshima and 3 days later, the people of Nagasaki experienced a level of devastation that forever changed our understanding of war and our shared responsibility to one another. Their suffering gave birth to a moral imperative that continues to echo across generations: never again. Today, that promise belongs to all of us. As members of Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons, a cooperation circle of the United Religions Initiative, together with our partners at the Charter for Compassion in Communities around the world, we gather to affirm that peace is not simply the absence of war. It is the presence of justice, compassion, dialogue, and our recognition of our common humanity. We dedicate this gathering to those who will inherit the future, the young people whose lives will be shaped by the choices we make today. Together, we share a profound responsibility to ensure that the horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are never repeated, and that the threat of nuclear weapons becomes a chapter of history rather than the destiny of humanity. Throughout this program, representatives from Voices, the United Religions Initiative, the Charter for Compassion, and our global partners will offer reflections, prayers, music, and hope. Together, we will once again lift up the nuclear prayer as both a remembrance of those we have lost and a guiding light toward a more just, compassionate, collaborative, and peaceful world. May this time together strengthen our resolve, deepen our compassion, and renew our shared commitment that never again is not simply a phrase we remember, but a promise we keep.
Felipe Zurita, and I'm from Chile, living in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the United States, and I am with the Charter for Compassion. I speak today because I believe peace is not a passive hope, it's an active choice. We must choose a future where no one lives under the shadow of nuclear war.
I'm Basu Bandu, and I am an immigrant from Mexico in the United States of America. I serve as Interfaith Manager for the Arizona Faith Network, and I'm also serving as a Global Council Trustee for the United Religions Initiative. I have learned about what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and I carry that history in my heart. I'm here to say never again. We have the power and the responsibility to shape a safer future.
My name is Mikhail Sorensen. The world my generation inherits is fragile, but full of promise. That promise cannot include nuclear weapons. I stand for life, I stand for balance, and for a future free of fear.
Hi everyone. My name is Isaac S. Thomas, and I serve as the Vice Chair of United Religions Initiative, URI, and as a member of the Charter for Compassion and Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons, CC. I believe every voice matters. Young people must speak up, not just because we are the future, but because we are here now, actively shaping the present and building a better world for all. Our ideas, our energy, and our courage have the power to challenge injustice, bridge divides, and inspire hope. We are not waiting for permission or the right time. This is our time. By raising our voices, sharing our stories, and standing up for what we believe in, we are creating the change we wish to see. The world needs us, not tomorrow, but today.
I am Kehkasha Basu, and I stand for justice with my heart, my voice, and my hope for a better world. Nuclear weapons are a betrayal of our humanity, a threat to the earth we share, and a shadow over every child yet to be born. We all deserve to live without that fear.
My name is Babalwa Ngongolo from Cape Town, South Africa. The principle of Ubuntu tells us that our world is interconnected. What affects one affects all. A single nuclear weapon can destroy a city, but united voices can change the course of history.
My name is Anam Mullah, and I serve as the Charter for Compassion's Global Youth Strategist. I believe that compassion must be greater than fear. In honoring those we've lost, we commit to building peace with every step forward.
The beginning and the end are in your hands, O Creator of the universe, and in our hands you have placed the fate of this planet.
We, who are tested by having both creative and destructive power in our free will, turn to you in sober fear and in intoxicating hope.
We ask for your guidance and to share in your imagination in our deliberation about the use of nuclear force.
Help us lift the fog of atomic darkness that hovers so pervasively over our Earth, your Earth, so that soon all eyes may see life magnified by your pure light.
Bless all of us who wait today for your presence,
and who dedicate ourselves to achieve your intended peace and rightful equilibrium on earth.
In the name of all that is holy and all that is hoped. Amen.
We did not choose this world, but together we can change it. May every child sleep without fear. May every family live without war. May every nation choose compassion over destruction. Let hope be stronger than hatred. Let courage be stronger than fear. Let peace begin with us. One earth, one sky, one human family. Let there be peace for everyone.
en la paz. Salam, shalom. Creemos en la paz. Salam, shalom. Creemos en la paz. Salam, shalom. Creemos en la paz. Salam, shalom. We will work for peace. 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 Salam, shalom. Obramos por la paz. 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 Salam, shalom. Nous œuvrons pour la paix. 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 Salam, shalom. Vivimos en la paz. 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 Salam, shalom. Nous vivons dans la paix. 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 Salam, shalom. We can live in
final notes of peace, shalom, salam, fade into silence, we pause for a moment to hold those words in our hearts. Peace, shalom, salam. Though spoken in different languages, they carry a single aspiration shared by all humanity, that every person might live in safety, dignity, and hope. 81 years have passed since the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, yet the questions raised by those events remain profoundly relevant today. The future is not predetermined. It will be shaped by the choices we make, the values we embrace, and the courage we find to act together. May these days strengthen our resolve, deepen our understanding, and inspire us to become active participants in creating a more peaceful and compassionate world. One of those values is our shared commitment to creating a world free of nuclear weapons. Throughout history, progress toward peace has always depended upon people who refuse to believe that fear must define our future. Some have served as heads of state, others as diplomats, scientists, faith leaders, educators, artists, and ordinary citizens. Today, perhaps more than ever, we recognize another essential group: young people whose vision, determination, and moral courage are helping lead the world toward a future beyond nuclear weapons. It is in that spirit that we present the voices for a world free of nuclear weapons Mikhail Gorbachev George Shultz Youth Award. This award honors young leaders ages 18 to 35 whose work reflects the enduring legacy of former President Mikhail Gorbachev and former U.S. Secretary of State George Shultz. Though they represented nations long divided by conflict, they demonstrated that dialogue, trust, and courageous leadership can reduce nuclear danger and open pathways toward disarmament. Each year, on August 6th, the anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima, we honor a new generation carrying that work forward, recognizing that the responsibility for building a peaceful future now rests in many hands. The award itself contains a single golden ginkgo leaf. The ginkgo tree holds a remarkable place in history. Several ginkgo trees survived the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, standing only a short distance from the hypocenter. Though burned and scarred, they sent forth new leaves the following spring, becoming living symbols of resilience, renewal, and hope. Today, the ginkgo reminds us that even after humanity's darkest moments, life can return, hope can take root, peace can grow. It is with that enduring symbol of resilience and possibility that we now present the 2026 Mikhail Gorbachev George Shultz Youth Award.
There are stories that begin with power, and there are stories that begin with peace. This story begins nearly 1,000 years ago. In the years before 1200 AD, Buddhist monks carried the seeds of the ginkgo tree from China to Japan. They planted them near temples and places of contemplation. The ginkgo was revered for its beauty, its longevity, and its remarkable resilience.
Through centuries of storms, earthquakes, wars, and changing empires, these trees continued to grow. Among them were several ginkgo trees rooted in the city of Hiroshima. For generations, they stood quietly, bearing witness to the passage of time. No one could have imagined the role they would one day play in the story of humanity.
On the morning of August 6, 1945, Hiroshima woke to an ordinary summer day. Families prepared breakfast. Children made their way to school. Workers began their daily routines.
Then, at 8:15 in the morning, a blinding flash shattered the sky. The first atomic bomb used in war exploded over the city. Within moments, Hiroshima was transformed into a landscape of devastation. Buildings vanished, entire neighborhoods disappeared. More than 100,000 people would lose their lives. The city was reduced to ashes. Many believed nothing living could survive. But life had not spoken its final word.
Just months after the bombing, something extraordinary happened. From blackened trunks and scorched bark, green shoots began to emerge. 4 ancient ginkgo trees had survived, burned, wounded, scarred, but alive.
To the people of Hiroshima, these trees became symbols of hope, proof that even after humanity's darkest hour, life could begin again. The surviving trees became known as Hibaku Jumoku, atomic bomb trees, living witnesses to both destruction and renewal. For decades, they continued to grow, carrying their message quietly into the future. 70 years later, the story took a remarkable turn. Seeds from Hiroshima's surviving ginkgo trees were carefully collected and nurtured into young saplings. In 2015, several of these descendants crossed the Pacific Ocean and arrived in California. There, they were lovingly cared for until they were strong enough to be planted.
Their new home would be one of America's most treasured gardens, the Japanese Tea Garden in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. On September 20th, 2019, the young trees were ceremonially planted. The occasion honored George and Charlotte Shultz, whose lives were dedicated to diplomacy, peace, and the pursuit of a world free from nuclear weapons. The descendants of Hiroshima's survivors had found a new home and a new purpose. The next chapter began on August 2nd, 2020. The world was preparing to mark the 75th anniversary of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Archbishop Bill Swing and his wife Mary visited the young ginkgo trees. As they stood beneath their branches, they saw leaves that had naturally fallen to the ground. With permission, they gathered 100 of them.
Each leaf carried a remarkable lineage, a descendant of a tree that had survived the atomic bombing, a descendant of resilience itself. The leaves were carefully sent to Azusa, California. There, skilled artisans transformed them. Each leaf was coated in shimmering gold. Fragile leaves became lasting treasures. Nature became art. Memory became symbol, and a new tradition was born.
Today, the Golden Ginkgo Leaf Award is given by Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons. Each year, one of these precious leaves is given to a young person or organization whose work advances peace and nuclear disarmament.
The award recognizes courage, vision, leadership, and hope. It reminds us that the future belongs to those who choose cooperation over conflict and dialogue over violence. The Golden Leaf is more than an award. It is a story carried across centuries, a story that began with Buddhist monks, passed through Hiroshima, survived humanity's most destructive weapon, crossed an ocean, and now rests in the hands of a new generation.
The Golden Ginkgo Leaf carries a message born from the ashes of Hiroshima. That life is stronger than destruction. That hope can emerge from tragedy, and that peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of wisdom, compassion, and courage.
Like the ginkgo tree itself, may we learn to live in harmony with the created order, resilient, beautiful, and at peace. The story of the Golden Ginkgo Leaf continues. Its roots stretch deep into history. Its branches reach toward the future, and its message belongs to us all.
The story of the Golden Ginkgo Leaf does not end in Hiroshima. It continues wherever people choose courage over fear, dialogue over division, and hope over despair. Each year, this award is entrusted to a young leader whose life and work carry forward that living legacy. It is presented not simply in recognition of past achievements, but as an affirmation that the future of our world is being shaped by a new generation of peacemakers. Our 2026 recipient embodies that hope. Joel Naoki Christoph is a French-Japanese economist whose work bridges cultures, generations, and disciplines in the pursuit of a world free of nuclear weapons. As a youth communicator for a world without nuclear weapons with Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Peace Boat, he has helped bring the testimony of the Hibakusha, the survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, to audiences around the world, ensuring that their voices continue to educate and inspire new generations. Joel serves on the leadership team of international student Young Pugwash, advises Basics Emerging Voices Network, and contributed to the United Nations Youth for Disarmament Forum outcome document, addressing the challenges of nuclear risk in an age of rapidly emerging technologies. His work has also been recognized through fellowships with the Plowshares Fund, Horizon 2045, and the Harvard Kennedy School's Carr Ryan Center for Human Rights Policy. He is also the founder of 10billion.org, a movement dedicated to advancing global public goods. Across all of these endeavors, Joel has woven together memory and action, honoring the experiences of survivors while helping to shape practical pathways toward a safer, more compassionate future. Remarkably, he does this while communicating across cultures in 8 languages. it is our privilege to recognize Joel Naoki Christoph as the recipient of the 2026 Mikhail Gorbachev George Shultz Youth Award. We invite you to meet Joel in conversation with Bishop William E. Swing, founder of the United Religions Initiative and Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons, as they reflect on the responsibilities and possibilities of a new generation committed to building a world beyond nuclear weapons.
Joel,
Yes.
I want to congratulate you on being the seventh winner of the Mikhail Gorbachev George Shultz Youth Award. We're very excited about you and about what you've been doing and about what you are doing and what you could do. Could you start us off with a little understanding of how you got started in the very beginning with nuclear weapons? I think I remember you saying something about traveling with a group that won the Nobel Peace Prize or something, but please say it in your own words.
Yes, thank you so much, Bishop Swing. It's a pleasure to be here. My journey in the field of peace building and conflict resolution, it probably I was born because my family on both sides from my parental origins was affected by World War I as well as World War II in different regions of the world. And then my own journey began when I got involved in programs with Japanese survivors of the atomic bombings, Hibakusha. Initially, it was around 6 years ago when I did a summer program, which introduced me to the humanitarian impacts of nuclear weapons. But then I also had the opportunity to serve as an interpreter for one of the survivors, Tanaka-san, who gave the Nobel Peace Prize address on behalf of Nihon Hidankyo in 2024. And we spent every day together for almost 4 months. We met with different politicians, and he gave his testimony of the realities of use of nuclear weapons. And my job was to interpret and also to contextualize in English, in French, and in Spanish with the mayors and heads of state that we met. So that was an experience which moved me very much. And now I carry with me much of what I see as the pain of others, and that inspires me to keep going in the hope that we can create a more peaceful world.
You started out as an interpreter, and then did you move into research? You went from interpreting to what?
Research has been a longer strand of my work. In fact, I was virtually trained to be a researcher through graduate programs. The interpretation was something which I did for 4 months as a full-time volunteer because I had the opportunity to do it in the context of peace building. And that's the reason why I did it, but only for 4 months. But my upbringing helped a lot because growing up in a household where we spoke Japanese, French, and English, it trained me to try to help as an interpreter. And I also had previous experience relating to nuclear disarmament and conflict resolution. I've been involved with groups, for instance, the Pugwash conferences on world affairs, as well as other groups such as BASIC for a couple of years. So for me, the interpretation was more an opportunity to apply a skill I grew up with to a cause that I believe in.
Yeah. There's something associated with you that has 10 billion to it. That's an awfully high number. What is that all about?
So 10 billion is a network that I'm building of young people who are born in many different places on this planet, but who believe that we should try to do a better job at creating a world where 10 billion humans can live together in peace. So it's named after what is estimated, for instance, by the United Nations to be roughly the maximum number of humans to coexist in the second half of this century. And the idea came about when I was serving as an interpreter, and I began thinking a lot about what it would take to sustain peace among states. And I think that part of it is relating to identity, that so long as I think about how I help my, let's say, 60 or 80 million co-citizens of a particular country against the interests of others, it becomes challenging because then we are serving the division that's necessary for conflict. So instead of appealing to a minority of the human population, I wanted to flip it and say, why don't we appeal to the whole of humanity, but in terms of a number that represents something far larger than ourselves? And so far, roughly 300 people in roughly 30 different countries have gotten involved. We've organized events in 3 continents. And for me, it's also a kind of vehicle to get more young people thinking about what the whole of humanity has in common in terms of our dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, and hope you'll think about URI in terms of we have a lot of young people, and no reason in the world why we shouldn't be working together on this. You're in Geneva right now, I believe.
Yes.
And you're dealing with AI.
Yes.
Could you say a little bit about that? That sounds interesting.
Yes. So I'm currently at the AI for Good Summit, also the Global Dialogue on AI Governance. And I'm participating in several events. They're relating to youth participation in these international processes, but also questions surrounding the risks to peace, because the technologies are advancing far faster than our ability to develop shared knowledge on what is happening and what the consequences are. So I'm here both as a researcher and in some sense also as an activist, and I'll be speaking at an event tomorrow on the politics of knowledge and who should be allowed to decide what kind of knowledge we have access to as humanity. And it's been a very inspiring time so far, because in just a couple hours of being there, one meets people from many different backgrounds, nationalities, career tracks who have converged upon some similar challenges of how we understand what's happening in the private development of powerful technologies. So there's also other people present who are relatively young and who have been working on peace building and disarmament.
You want to give us a précis of what you're going to be saying tomorrow? We promise not to publish it.
Yes. So the most simple point I would like to make is that when we speak about artificial intelligence, we focus very often on what the AI can do. There are entire research teams that are trying to benchmark how much AI capabilities are increasing. And I think this is the misleading measure. What we should instead be focusing on is how much we as humanity can do. Are we able to lift people out of poverty? Can we understand how these technologies work? Are we able to use these new instruments to solve old problems? The measure of success is not what AI can do, it's what we as humans can do.
Yeah. So you started out as an interpreter and then a researcher. What are you now? If you can describe yourself.
The most important development might be that as we continue to climb one mountain, we have to inspire people to go with us. So that is the role of a storyteller, and also to teach what we have learned along the way. And I think my role is similar in that there are things I do virtually alone. For instance, I can pursue research, I can run different types of simulations, but the most important work I do is to tell stories about the future and how much better our future lives can be if we cooperate and we share knowledge, and also to try to distribute knowledge. I had a mentor, Shoshana Zuboff, who told me a very wise saying about how we change the world. And she said, 3 steps: acquire knowledge, distribute knowledge, organize people around that knowledge. So I think that much of what I must do is along those lines.
Yeah. You're quite a traveler. You're a researcher, interpreter, a traveler, and where are you located now? What are you doing?
Yes, I've been located in Jakarta, Indonesia for a few months, where I work mostly on regional cooperation and integration in Asia. So my training academically is as an economist. And one way that I try to use this is to think about what are the rules of the game or the incentives and the mechanisms that we can develop to try to align even the worst of human behaviors. So part of it is inspired by much of what I studied about economic integration in Europe after World War II. But I think it's also relating to essentially clarifying what is in the self-interest of our community, whichever national community that might be, which also happens to be in the interest of other neighboring communities. So a concrete example would be a regional fund for cybersecurity, where there are many technical details relating to cybersecurity that we don't have to go into, but justifying why it is in the interests of the wealthiest countries to ensure that the least developed countries are able to upskill and to level up in terms of their cybersecurity capabilities. That is something which is not evident to policymakers. So part of my role is to try to also bring out the enlightened self-interest. And there's a difference between making a proposal and the proposal being implemented, but I try to do what I can where I am with what I have.
Yeah. And you have three parts to your name. Can you explain where the three parts came from?
Yes. So I have a French name, Joel, a Japanese name, Naoki, a Spanish name, Ernesto, and then I also have a Japanese surname and a German surname. And it's relating to my parents' vision of my life, that my father is from France. Well, he's from the French-German border region. And my mother is from Japan, and they met in China. And then I was born in the Netherlands, and I spent my second half of my childhood in Germany. And so there was this long strand of trying to weave together different cultures and countries. And that's represented by the choice before I was born about the name to give me.
Yeah, is that Alsace-Lorraine?
That's correct.
Boy, that's where my father comes from. Went over there a couple of years ago. Very impressed. And beautiful. We are so excited at URI to and at the Voices to have you as the 7th winner of the Gorbachev Shultz Youth Award. George Shultz helped start Voices with me, and we were dear friends for many, many years. And Gorbachev came in toward the end of his life, and the two of them wanted to make sure that the succeeding generations kept the flame going for disarmament, because they know what nuclear weapons could do, and they want to encourage the next generations. And so we have an award. It'll be given to you on the 6th of August, a very famous day. And in that is a ginkgo leaf. And the ginkgo trees came from from China. Some monks brought them over around 1200 AD, and they were planted in Japan and in Hiroshima. And then when the bomb went off, all the ginkgo trees died, except 4 little ones. And they brought one of the saplings of the little ones over to San Francisco. We planted it in the Japanese garden, tea garden, in honor of George Shultz, his wife Charlotte. So the ginkgo leaf that you'll receive in the award that we give you will come from that garden. And what we say at the end is, so this ginkgo leaf has a long history. Now it is a gift of peace endurance, and hope to you. Together, let us eliminate all the warheads and live like ginkgo leaves, full of beauty and at one with the created one. So we feel honored to be at one with you and look forward to getting to know you better and working with you and cheering for you in the years ahead. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm touched and honored, and this reinforces my resolve to continue to work towards what I believe to be in the common cause of all of humanity, that we can extend both the inner and outer peace and also the ability to exercise freedoms that we are born with to the whole of humankind. And I think that in trying to create peace in humankind, we might well discover that the first 500 years were the hardest. And so I believe that it is fully in our capacity to create for the next generations the world that we would have loved to have been born into.
Blessings to you and thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Bishop Swing. Thank you, Joel. Today we have remembered the unimaginable suffering of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We have honored the resilience symbolized by the golden ginkgo leaf. And we have celebrated a new generation of leaders who remind us that peace is not inherited, it is created. The story we have heard today is not simply about the past. It is about the choices before us now. Every generation is asked a defining question. Will we accept the world as it is, or will we help create the world as it can be? Joel's work reminds us that history is not changed by governments alone. It is shaped by people, by those willing to listen across differences, to speak with courage, to build trust, and to imagine a future beyond fear. As we conclude today's gathering, we leave with both remembrance and resolve. The responsibility for a world free of nuclear weapons belongs to all of us. It belongs to every nation, every community, every family, and every young person who refuses to believe that violence is humanity's destiny. Our closing song has carried that hope for more than half a century. Today, Peace Train takes on new meaning. Performed by musicians from 12 countries, including artists from places too often divided by conflict, it reminds us that peace is not the dream of one nation or one people. It is a journey we undertake together. As you listen, we invite you to imagine yourself not as a spectator, but as a fellow traveler. The train is already moving. There is room for every voice. There is work for every heart. And there is still time to choose the next destination. Thank you for joining us today. May you carry the spirit of this gathering into your own communities, your own conversations, and your own lives. Please enjoy Peace Train and join us tomorrow as we explore the segments of history, known and unknown, that are part of the legacy of Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons.
Now I've been happy lately, thinking about good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun.
Oh, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one, and I believe it could be someday it's gonna come.
'Cause I'm on the edge of darkness, and there rides the peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again.
Now I've been smiling lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun.
Peace train sounding louder, ride on the peace train. Jump upon the peace train. Rendin chom chima arkidam, pata say la de mangaron.
been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? Peace train sounding loud, light on the peace train. Ooh, come on, peace train. Peace train, holy road. Everyone jump upon the peace train. Ooh, come on, come on, come on.
Come on and ride on the peace train.
Come on, come on, come on. Let's come on, peace train.
Come on, come on, come on. Peace train.
Come on, join me. I'm jumping on the peace train.
Come on, the peace train.